Hello viewers, welcome to this channel. In this video we're going to be discussing, or we're going to bring to your notice, a common practice in our society today that is often overlooked, maybe due to emotions, yet it can be traumatic in its consequences. What am I talking about? I am talking about how parents, often driven by their excitement and emotions, can unintentionally complicate the lives of their children by giving them too many names or overly complex names. Many a times, you see children and adults wandering about, moving from one place to another, in search of where they can either correct or change names. But in reality, are there really such places where one can easily dash in and change or make corrections to their names? You are often told to get affidavit. Yes, our country will use affidavit sometimes, in some places, in some situations. But affidavit has its own limit of acceptability because there are some forms you may need to fill, and there is no room for affidavit. What will you do? And you see that in such cases, you are left stranded. Then you begin to see village witches. You begin to see people as enemies because the system doesn't accept you. Maybe because of the complications that you have in your identity. I know it hurts. It hurts a lot. It hurts me too. So I choose to title this discussion, The Name Game. Yes, the name game. Though I might be smiling, but the effects of these actions are not smiling in any way. They can be really, really traumatic. Because I have seen several times these victims suffer the consequences, and in most cases, their parents are no longer there. But they have to bear the burden of once upon a time action taken by their parents without their knowledge and without their consent. But they have to live with these actions of their parents, painfully as it sounds. And the frustration, obviously, you could see it written all over their faces. It hurts. Hence, the need to address these complications. My name is Sunday. I welcome you once again to this channel. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, kindly do so. Like the video and hit the notification button so that you can be getting a first-hand notification from YouTube whenever I drop a new video here. Give us a like, hit the bell notification button, and also subscribe to this channel. And please, if you have any topic, anything that disturbs you that relates to what we're discussing, or you have something that you would like me to throw light in, to look into, or to do a video on, please do well to share in the comment section. If you have your opinions, you can also share. Please ensure to watch this video till the end. in order to get the whole information and the actual purpose of this video and use it thereafter for your good and the good of your kids, family members, and friends. Without much ado, now let's dive into the cocoa of the matter, which I title The Name Game. How parental excitement can complicate a child's life. Naming a child is one of the most emotional and symbolic acts of parenthood. It is a moment filled with joy, hope, tradition, and desire to bestow meaning. For many parents, especially in cultures that place strong emphasis on identity, heritage, or spirituality, the naming process becomes a heartfelt mission. But while the intentions are noble, the outcome isn't always practical. In their enthusiasm, give their children multiple names or names that are too long, compound names, or phonetically complex names which can unintentionally complicate or create lifelong complications for these children, for your child. Some of you are even victims of this. Some of you are suffering from this. There are some things you want to achieve, but you cannot get them because of the complications in your name. Many of you have applied for correction of names several times in different organizations, in different institutions, yet there is no headway and you are suffering. That is why I choose to talk about it. So that the new parents, aspiring parents, new parents, even the ones that just have a new birth, new child, new kid, that are opportune to watch this video can take some precautions, some measures, some caution, so that they don't repeat this cycle of trauma they create for these children, yet unknowingly, because they didn't do it out of hatred, but out of ignorance or unintentionality. They carry out these actions, and at the end, or in the nearest future, the child begins to suffer the consequences of this action. So please, you are here to learn, to get this information. Stick to this video, watch to the end, so that you can get this information. Use it for your own good. Use it for the good of your kids. Use it for the good of your family members. You can share it with your friends, so that together we can help to better the lives of the next generation, the children that will become the future of tomorrow. The emotional drivers behind overnaming, what are they? Parents often attach deep meaning to names, a way to honor ancestors, preserve cultural heritage, cultural legacies, express gratitude, or convey hopes and blessings. For example, sentimental values, including names of grandparents, spiritual leaders, or significant places. We also have spiritual significance too, as one of the challenge, because some names are given after divine intervention or tied to some religious experiences. Maybe the parents, as a parent, you must have passed through one thing or the other before you are able to get the child, or maybe you waited for some years, you are not able to have a child, and now God has blessed you with a child. And out of emotions and excitement, you start pouring out names. Also, celebratory naming, marking special circumstances of birth, like twin births, answered prayers, or survivor stories. These are motivators that make parents go wide in naming their children. In these moments, one name rarely feels enough. Parents string together, or parents might string together several meaningful names, leading to lengthy or compound identities, leading to too many names. Let's look at some practical complications for the child. While the intentions are affectionate, the child often bears the burden of managing a name that's difficult to live with, or even difficult to pronounce. Some common complications include official documentation hassle. Long or multiple names may not fit into forms, IDs, bank applications, passports. Errors in spelling or truncation can cause legal delays. What about school and social challenges? Children may find it difficult to pronounce or write their names, leading to teasing, embarrassment, or even avoidance of full introduction. Teachers and peers may shorten the names, thereby reducing its original meaning. Of what essence is the lengthy name when at the end of the day, nobody will even mention the name? It is being abbreviated. Then you wonder, why all this? Can somebody just see the suffering some parents are creating for their children, or in the name of naming their kids? Another is identity confusion. Some children grow up unsure of how to introduce themselves. Should they use their full name, one of the names, a nickname, or even an abbreviation? This can lead to fractured identity, especially when the names are inconsistent across formal, official, and informal contexts. What about the digital world? In our day, technology is taking over everywhere. Many things are being done online using technology. So what limitation do they also have in relation to what we are discussing, in relation to identity? In an increasingly digital world, software systems often limit character counts or reject special characters and hyphens, making it problematic for long names or compound names. Some forms will not even accept apostrophe. Some will not accept the hyphen. Some will not accept space between a surname, a middle name, or even the first name. Do you even know that some children don't even know the difference between their surname, their first name, and their middle name. Some cannot even identify. Some, if you ask them, they just have names. That is how bad it is. Please, we have to fight this menace together. That is the reason for this video. We have to fight as a team, beginning from our own families, from the world around us, from our community, from your friends, by educating them. At least you are getting information, you are getting to know about this. Maybe you know about it before, you have not thought about sharing it, or maybe you are just hearing for the first time. Please don't take this information so lightly. I have seen children cry. I have seen adults cry because of difficulties in names, in disparities they have in their names, or complications in their names that they have tried all they could to rectify, yet there seems to be no way out for them. I have seen adults cry. I've seen children cry, and it hurts. That is why this video is coming at this time. Let's take a look at some compound names where cultural beauty meets modern complexity. I'm talking about real life examples. Some of these things, I see them every day. But it hurts. It really hurts. Some compound names. Please do not be angry if I use your name or talk about a name from a particular dialect. I'm only citing it as an example. I love every tribe of Nigeria. If I could, I would love to speak all the languages of Nigeria. I could say, Bia, Afambu Sunday, Wa, Kilo Shele, Kilo Rukwere. I could speak some, just small. But I would gladly speak languages that, if I could, I would want to speak all the languages. So please do not be offended if I use your native name or your tribe to cite an example here. We have some compound names like Oluwatobilola. Another is Nkemdiri Chukwu. Oluwafeyi Sayomi. Blessing-Faith. Another, McDonald-Duke. Another, you have Mmesomachukwu. There is even surnames that you see they are having two different names being spaced in a surname. James space Joseph. Emeka hyphen Paul. Beautiful names. Beautiful names. And so on. But inasmuch as these names are so rich in meaning and poetic depths, they have their own bad side. They have their troubles. inasmuch they have meaning and poetic depth. Such names, if such names are combined with multiple middle names and surnames, the result is often an overloaded identity. While these names reflect cultural pride and storytelling, the modern administrative world is not always equipped to accommodate them. What about the child's perspective in all of this? Often overlooked, yet very crucial. Parents rarely consider how their naming decision will affect the child in real life interactions. What may seem like a beautiful tribute in infancy today can become a source of frustration in adulthood. And that's the reason for this video, to address this menace so that we can take caution while naming our children. Many children eventually shorten their names, adopt nicknames, or even legally change their names just to make daily life easier for themselves, because they cannot cope with the names their parents proudly gave them. This can create emotional distance between the child and the name their parents lovingly gave, sometimes even leading to conflict or feeling of rejection. But now we have to find a balance. But how do we find the balance between meaning and manageability? We have to find a balance between meaning and manageability, which is the bone of contention here. The key is not to avoid meaningful names, but to strike a balance between emotional significance and everyday usability. Some helpful approaches include choosing one main name and keeping others as symbolic or spiritual names used in family or religious settings or gathering. Meaning you can give your child so many names, no problem. There's no issue with that. It's a good thing. Beautiful. But selecting shorter variants or phonetic spellings that retain meaning but ease pronunciation. In all the names you give, you are free. You can even give your child 5 names. It doesn't matter. But give a simple one, some simpler one that can easily be pronounced and spelled, that the child can use in documentation. Another thing where we can strike a balance between the meaning and manageability is testing how the full name fits in legal forms, IDs, passports, before finalizing those names. Meaning, why planning the name of your child? Husband and wife should sit together and plan these names. Get a document. Provide the surname. Provide the name of your child. And pronounce them. Check out how easy it is for you to pronounce the names. Check out the spellings, how easy it would be to spell those names. Test those names, informs yourself. Get 2 to 5 persons, including children and adults, to pronounce those names, to spell those names, and give you a feedback on how they feel about the names. There you will be able to tell what your child will be encountering tomorrow, because you will not be in class when the teacher would want to call your child. If the teacher cannot pronounce the name, they shorten the name or make mockery of your child. And that can cause great trauma for the child. That can really cause a dent on the ego of that child, on the pride of your child. Allowing space for the child to grow into their name and have a say in how they want to be identified later in life is another way to manage or to create balance between meaning and manageability. So please, before you give those beautiful names, sit down, think about the names, pronounce the names. Think of someone who is not from your tribe. Think of someone who doesn't understand your native language. Think of the children in class who will have to call the name of your child in the classrooms. The friends, what would they call? Are they going to be using nicknames? In conclusion, a name is a gift, not a burden. A name is a gift, not a burden. So I urge you, and I say in the end, names are gifts. Names are gifts. They are the first words spoken over a child's life. But like all gifts, they should be given with care. Not just sentiment. Parents must remember that while they may only say the names with pride and love, the child will carry it into classrooms, job interviews, visa offices, and digital forms for the rest of their lives. So I say to you, I'm saying to you, oh dear parent, whether parent in waiting, parent already, aspiring parent, I'm saying to you, simplicity does not mean a lack of depth. I repeat, simplicity does not mean a lack of depth. In fact, the most meaningful names are often the ones that are easy to carry and difficult to forget. I will repeat that. The most meaningful names are often the ones that are easy to carry and difficult to forget. So striking a balance between culture, identity, and practicality is key to ensuring your child grows up with a name they carry with pride and not frustration. Let's take a look at all the great men. Dangote, Otedola, great men that have achieved a lot. Bill Gates of this world, Mark Zuckerberg. Simple names. Simple names. What about artists? Look at them. They adopt simple names for easy pronunciation, easy relationship with their fans, with their audience. That is how it should be when giving a child a name. Give a child a name out of love, not out of emotions and excitement that will end up complicating their lives. Sit down and think about the name that you want to give to your child. The richest men of this world, check out their names. Their names are very simple and short. So it is not the lengthiness of the name that makes your child a great man or a great woman. But those simple names, they leave lasting pride and satisfaction in the hearts of the bearers. As we draw the curtain here, please feel free to drop your comment in the comment section. And if you have anything you would want me to talk about, kindly let me in on it. And remember to give this video a like. Hit the notification button and subscribe to this channel. And until we meet again, I say thanks for watching. Bye.